Hi, I'm Scott.
I'm Alex.
And today we are going to look at the press phase of the stroke. This element of the stroke, there are a lot of common errors that we see all the time. And hopefully we're going to give you a couple of tips so that you don't make those errors and you're a really good paddler. Okay, the main theme of the press phase is basically making sure you're pressing. A lot of drag motors, new and intermediate, they really only emphasize the pull. So Alex is gonna show you what not to do, which is just pulling. Okay? Here, her entire back comes up. She goes forward and comes back. Okay, thank you, Alex. Great job of what not to do. Fantastic. What we want to do is put the paddle into the water and, as though we are pole vaulting, press our body past the paddle. Imagine that paddle sinking into concrete and moving past it. For this to happen, Alex is going to plant at the catch. Okay? Her left side is going to be de-rotating, but her right side is going to be rotating. She's going to end in this position. Okay, this is a great position. Her hand is roughly at her heart. Her other hand is roughly at her hip. She'll probably come back a little further when we're doing full speed drills. And this is a great way to finish her stroke. She's still launching herself forward towards the finish line. And the one thing I want to emphasize is that whatever her left side is doing, her right side is doing the opposite. Okay? Keep that in mind throughout your press phase. Whatever one side's doing, the other side's doing the opposite, and you'll be doing a good job of pressing yourself past the paddle. Okay, here is Alex's back. It's a very powerful, strong back. And what we're going to emphasize, we're all going to visualize a line right down the center of Alex's back, also known as her spine. And fortunately, she's wearing the perfect set of tights that highlight the two sides. And we're going to re-emphasize that whatever is happening on the left, the opposite is happening on the right. You'll especially see this in the lower back. So Alex is going to set up for her stroke. The left side's going to go forward. The right side's going to come back a little bit, basically stay where it is. She's going to load at the front of her stroke. Everything's good. And as she goes through the press phase, this is the important part. Here she goes through the press phase. You see that symmetry is happening. Alex is just going to take a few more strokes, and we're going to watch this symmetry take place. Go ahead. You can also see it up here in the upper back. The two sides of her body are always heading in opposite directions, particularly during the press phase. Alex is just going to take a few strokes in slow motion, her press phase in slow motion, which is difficult for her to do, just so we can see it a little slower. Great job. Okay, here's Alex facing us, and we're going to re-emphasize that whatever her left side does, her right side does the opposite. So here she extends out towards the stroke. She goes down for the catch, and she's going to hold here, and what we can notice is that the left knee is closer to us, meaning the left hip is forward, and the right knee and right hip is back. Here we go through the press phase, and look at her left knee, drives, pushes through the stroke, the right knee and hip come forward. So she's really pressing down, lots of body weight on that stroke. She's going to kind of reverse out that motion now. She's going to come forward, and we're going to see what happens. The left knee comes forward, the right knee goes back. Okay, the knees are controlled by the hips, so as her hips rotate and derotate, so do her knees. And she's just going through the motions really slowly here so we can identify what's happening in the lower body. You can definitely see she's pressing through the stroke. As a result, her body moves in symmetrical motion. She's now going to take it to a full stroke scenario. Nice and slow at first. You can really see her whole body. Left side stays with the paddle, it moves with the paddle, opposite side moves opposite of what the paddle is doing. So let's make sure we're thinking about it as a press phase, not a pull phase. And let's remember this word symmetry. What happens to one side of your body, the opposite happens on the opposite side of your body. Put your body weight on that paddle, press yourself forward, and you'll be a better and faster